Good morning. Well, it is very exciting to see so many people out here with us today to celebrate Nashville's Arbor Day. What a lot of folks don't know is that in 1992, in May of 1992, March of 1992 was the first recorded Arbor Day celebration in Nashville, which is 20 years ago this month. 20? 30, yeah. Math was not my strong suit. And so I think it's very fitting that here we are again in the month of March celebrating Arbor Day with all of you. So my name is Sharon Smith, and I'm here representing Metro Beautification Environment Commission, and very pleased to have hosted this event through the commission for all of those 30 years. And hopefully we have at least another 30 plus years to go celebrating Nashville's Arbor Day. I want to welcome all of you. I want to welcome the mayor and really appreciate his support. We have a couple of council members here. We've got Councilmember Withers, who I'm proud to say is my council member, Councilmember Benedict, who I'm proud to say is my next door neighbor council member. We're so glad that you're here today supporting us. We also want to welcome the many departments that all year round have a role in trees, and that would be Metro Water Services, Metro Parks, General Services, and of course the Nashville Department of Transportation. All of those departments, part of their work every day involves some role in planting, caring for, and supporting trees in Nashville's tree canopy. So we're very fortunate to have those members and representatives here. Also want to recognize any department heads that might be here. Your role every day helps us keep moving Nashville forward. Want to recognize DaCosta Jenkins and all of the folks from NES. NES, as we'll talk about later, has been a longtime member of the Arbor Day and now in the Tree Line Award every year. Also want to recognize the people on the ground who are doing the work every day. That's Rebecca Doan, Jennifer Smith, Eric Kohler, Randall Lance, Stephen Kivitz, Jonathan Wyatt. Your work Monday through Friday and sometimes on the weekend is what makes Nashville's tree canopy expansion possible. I also see some folks here, former Beautification and Tree Advisory Committee members. Thank you so much for being here. We have the chair of the Metro Beautification Commission, Tony Vietti, sitting here with us, and of course, many members of the Tree Advisory Committee, the folks at Cumberland River Compact like Meg Morgan, who helped with the Route Nashville campaign. So many people in this room and around Nashville every day support the planting and care of trees, and we are so grateful for you. At this time, I would like to introduce Vera from Metro Parks, who will be making a few comments. We're over here in a Parks building, and Parks has been a long time Arbor Day celebration participant. In fact, it was at Metro Parks that I believe in the 90s when Arbor Day first started, and of course many years later in the early 2000s, the Beautification Commission moved over to Public Works. So we have a long-standing relationship with Metro Parks and with their tree program. So we're delighted to have you here today. We appreciate your time, and Vera, I will turn it over to you. Thank you.
Thank you, Sharon. Good morning. My name is Vera Roberts, and I'm the director of the Warner Park Nature Center with Metro Parks. And it is an honor to be here today, and on behalf of Metro Parks Director Monique Odom, who's not able to be here this morning, I would like to welcome you again to this annual Arbor Day celebration. Many of you might know that 2022 marks the 150th anniversary of Arbor Day celebrations. That's when Arbor Day started in Nebraska, and now it is an internationally celebrated event. And I think it's equally, if not more important today than ever before, to celebrate Arbor Day and our trees. We've probably all heard the adage that the best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago, and the second best time is now. And that certainly resonates with me and probably everyone in this room. Planting a tree, whether in your own backyard, as a volunteer in a park or your neighborhood, benefits all of us and decades into the future. So if you haven't planted a tree yet this season, it's not too late, and I encourage you all to get out and do so. Trees, as you know, benefit humans by creating shade and beauty, providing us with food and building materials, and also trees improve air quality, water quality, sequester carbon, and provided much-needed habitat for birds, pollinators, and other wildlife. Our mission in Metro Parks includes caring for parklands and natural resources, including our trees, and the stewardship of trees and urban forests is something that is important to Metro Parks, and I am proud to be part of the Metro Parks team and part of the team that does good for the trees of Nashville. Thank you again for Thank you again for joining us this morning, and now I'd like to introduce Jennifer Smith, who is the horticulturalist with Metro Water.
As you may note on your program, I'm not Rebecca Doan. I'm filling in for her today. So on behalf of our Root Nashville campaign to plant 500,000 trees by 2050, and for all the organizations and individuals dedicated to our urban forest, we want to thank Mayor Cooper and the Metro Council for the new funding to plant trees on private property. Since 96% of Nashville is private property, those funds will definitely make a difference, so thank you very much. Next, I'd like to introduce Jacob Dean. He's a forestry technician with the Tennessee Division of Forestry. His primary responsibilities are for fire, preservation, and suppression. Jacob is here to present the Arbor Day Recognition Awards.
There we go. Can everybody hear me? All right, wonderful. How are we doing today? Oh, come on. With as much oxygen as our trees are providing, you can certainly be louder than that. Come on now. There we go. That's better, much better. So, as Jennifer stated, my name is William Dean. I'm a forestry technician with the Tennessee Division of Forestry. My primary jobs are promoting healthy trees and forests and healthy communities in Tennessee through forest management, stewardship, and of course, fire protection. Tennessee was once a vast wilderness with green trees as far as the eye can see. While the landscape of this fine state has certainly changed over the years, there are those that do their utmost to ensure that has certainly changed over the years. There's those that do their utmost to ensure that trees will forever enrobe Tennessee in a stately gown of green, gold, and amber as the seasons change. And today, we are here to honor them. But one quick fun fact, community forests comprise about 39% of the nation's tree cover. They are made up of trees of all shapes and sizes, lining neighborhoods, streets, shading yards, and defining parks in every neighborhood, town, and city across America. Collectively, every year, community forests provide $18.3 billion in cost savings relating to the reductions in air pollution, energy use, and greenhouse gases. So that's my fun fact for the day. So what we can now do is I would like to go ahead and present this award to Nashville Electric with the Tree Line USA Award. So we have that up here. As well as we have this wonderful, wonderful flag. Let me roll it out here. It's quite large. There is that. There. Okay. All right. Hold on. We're facing. I'm in the middle. All right. Okay, and next up on our list is we have the Tree City USA Award to the City of Nashville. Now, I should say that this is Nashville has been receiving this award for 27 years as a Tree City USA. And if you look around the city of Nashville, it's nothing but green trees, and that's something that's a legacy that the city of Nashville can hold very proud to. We have many people to thank for that. So I would like to now present the Tree City USA Award to the city of Nashville. It's going to be right here. Okay, fantastic. So now I would like to present one last award to Belmont University for 8 years as a Tree Campus college. This is the Growth Award. As a former college student myself, I can tell you the green spaces are of the utmost importance when it comes to the quality of life on a college campus, and one of those things that many people don't realize is a very important part of their college experience. It provides places for you to sit beneath and study. It provides places of rest, and in my case, places for training. They made us climb trees and things like that when I was in school. So I have a couple items to present this award, including okay, very good, very good. So let's give everyone one last round of applause, please. Fantastic. Now, next up, we have the Metro Tree Advisory Committee Award of Merit to be presented by a Patricia Miller. So, Patricia Miller, come on up, ma'am. Everyone give her a hand.
I think I should just give my speech to him. I mean, you're a natural, sir. Just really good. Hi, my name is Patricia Miller, and I'm the immediate past chair of the Metro Tree Advisory Committee. We call it MTAC. This group is made up of about a dozen members from Metro departments that have tree-related responsibilities, and also our tree nonprofits in this community, and as well as other organizations and individuals who care about trees. And this is just a really great group of people. And because I would like to acknowledge MTAC members, this resourceful and wonderful group, and our coordinator, Jennifer Smith, would you please stand up? Yay. I see some of you that didn't stand, but I'll let you go with that. Thank you for what you do, okay? Thank you. All right, each year we present the George H. Cate Jr. Award to a commercial development that has exceeded the spirit and intention of the Nashville Tree Ordinance. This award honors Mr. Cate, who served the citizens of Nashville as a vice mayor and also as a Metro council person. He was also a long-term advocate of trees and a proponent of the value and benefits of trees. His favorite tree was a bur oak. This year, we are delighted to present this award to T-Line Nashville, and yes, that's T-E-E, not T-R-E-E, T-E-E, for their extensive use of both evergreen and deciduous trees in their campus landscaping. And this is in West Nashville. These trees will help mitigate stormwater, clean our air, and provide homes to birds and other wildlife. And I imagine a lot of us watch the Winter Olympics, and maybe many new fans to the sport of curling were created. And these fans and the rest of us will be delighted with their T-Line Nashville's campus, which is lined with trees. And when they arrive at this is our city's first curling venue. Okay. Bradley Brunson is here from T-Line Nashville to receive this award, and I think afterwards, if you want to ask him what T-Line means, he's game for that. Okay, it has something to do with curling, I'll just tell you. All right. Thank you.
Bald cypress, in case you're wanting to know what my favorite tree is. And again, I'm Jennifer Smith, and I want to thank the Nashville Tree Foundation and Metro Parks for donating and planting the memorial and honorary trees planted in Metro Parks. Among the many community activities, Winona Lurie was actively involved as a two-term beautification commissioner, the historic Sunnyside Mansion, Keep America Beautiful, and the Great American Cleanup. She was described as a cheerful gardener. Winona worked diligently for the course of a decade to protect her Battlemont neighborhood from the Brown Creek flood waters. She was credited for saving lives in the 2010 epic flood with giving neighbors time to evacuate their homes. In her work with children, she was known as an amazing whisperer and shared the principle to never, never, never give up. Always stand up for what you believe in. Will members of her family come up, please? Thank you. Kay Simmons invested her life in helping others, serving the community, tending her flower garden, and being called Mom, Mom. The first part of Kay's career, she was a professional fundraiser, mostly for Vanderbilt University and Medical Center, where she was the founding executive director of the Canby Robinson Society. Later in Kay's career, she became involved in public education. Kay was the founding executive director of the Alliance for Public Education and served on the Nashville Board of Education Board of Directors. Her community involved including serving on the boards of the Land Trust for Tennessee, Greenways for Nashville, Metro Greenways Commission, Metro Parks and Recreation, and the Metro Historical Commission. Would her husband please come up, and we'll have a picture with the mayor. After serving as the council director of the Illinois Conference of the United Methodist Church, Dr. Oler became the executive director of Scarlett Bennett Center in Nashville, where she served for 10 years. At the center, she initiated a citywide celebration of cultures, a festival that provides an opportunity for intercultural dialogue. In order to improve race relations in Nashville, she and her staff established the Diversity in Dialogue program, setting up small groups of mixed races to meet and talk together to better understand each other. Over a decade, this became the leading diversity training program in the region, and subsequently, Metro Nashville contacted Scarlett Bennett to conduct racial diversity training for policemen and firemen. Dr. Oler was a welcoming, warm-hearted, positive person who referred to herself as reader, writer, and thinker. Most of her family does not live in Nashville in this region, so they're not able to be here today. And her friend that lives in Brentwood is infirm and not able to come. So we just want to thank her and keep her in our prayers and thoughts. Now, we're going on to the honorary tree plantings. We are pleased to honor the 150th anniversary of the renowned Fisk Jubilee Singers, who are known worldwide and have brought recognition to Fisk University and to Nashville. The original Fisk Jubilee Singers introduced slave songs to the world in 1871 and were instrumental in preserving this unique American musical tradition known today as Negro spirituals. The Fisk Singers broke racial barriers in the U.S. and abroad in the late 19th century and entertained kings and queens in Europe. At the same time, they raised money in support of their beloved school. Dr. Paul Kwame, who's with us today, is from West Africa, and he has been the musical director of the Jubilee Singers since 1994. He also had the honor of being a member of the Jubilee Singers when he was a student at Fisk. Dr. Kwame, would you please come up? Now, you have already met Patricia Miller, and she is very special. Patricia, you have been an amazing, knowledgeable, sharing, caring, adventurous, giving, and fun Metro Tree Advisory Committee Chair and a friend to all. Your tree interest and knowledge is amazing and useful, and an added bonus has been her husband, Brant, a forester. Your education in biology and career as a naturalist and museum and wildlife educator has also been a great resource. Thank you sincerely from all of us for your service to Nashville and being an incredible chair for the Tree Advisory Committee. You have made it possible to grow our organization and bring many, many new people into the tree community. So much fruit has come from your tenure, Patricia, serving 2 years as chair and 5 years as, 2 years as co-chair and 5 years as chair of the Metro Tree Advisory Committee. We have been looking forward to recognizing your contributions today at Arbor Day. During the spring of 2020, Nashville was hit by 3 powerful weather events: a tornado, a derecho, and a wake low, resulting in thousands of trees lost. Immediately, the Nashville tree community started the process to replant our devastated tree canopy. Thank you to the Cumberland River Compact, Metro Tree Advisory Committee, Nashville Tree Foundation, Nashville Tree Conservation Corps, Metro Parks and Recreation, Root Nashville, the Sheriff's Office Arboriculture Program, and numerous neighbors and organizations. Combining planning and planting efforts, these very groups develop systems for future similar efforts. To aid in the replanting, the Helen Hines Nursery at McVinville donated hundreds of trees, and Nashville was awarded tree planting grants by Keep America Beautiful and UPS. Together, thousands of trees were planted, proving again that we are Nashville strong. Thank you all for picking up your shovels and coming to the rescue. Now, we would like to have all the representatives come immediately after the last presentation to come have our collective picture made with the mayor. So all the groups that I just mentioned, would you please come up and we'll have one big happy family picture taken. Now, the next is the director of the Nashville Tree Foundation, Dr. Andrew Bell, will present the next honorary tree dedication.
Thank you, Jennifer. Good morning, everyone. Again, I'm Andrew Bell. I'm the executive director of the Nashville Tree Foundation. And in September 2019, I had the honor of taking over this organization. And I feel like I spent the first 6 months learning about our impact, our mission, about the organization, our partners and programs. And a lot of things I was reading and hearing stories from other people, it often mentioned a tornado and this thing called Reliefing Day, which I thought was an odd name for an event. But once I learned that Nashville Tree Foundation helped lead the effort to restore the tree canopy and relief East Nashville following the 1998 tornado, it all made perfect sense. It also made perfect sense that this campaign, which was wildly successful, be converted into an annual event. And perhaps today it is the largest one-day planting event in Nashville. Of course, an annual planting event needs a sponsor, and NES was there and stepped right up to the plate and has been the co-sponsor of this event for the last 19 years. My first Reliefing Day was in November 2019, and leading up to the event, someone, probably Natalie, said DJ will be coming. To be honest with you, I didn't know who DJ was. I learned later for the event who he was, but honestly I wasn't quite convinced that a CEO of Nashville's electricity company would show up on a cold, rainy Saturday morning. But not only did he show up, he did so with bells and whistles on. He had a smile on his face, he was shaking hands and kissing babies like he was running for office. And I don't think that smile left his face the entire time he was there. Fast forward a few months to February 2020, Randall Lance came to me and said, your reliefing plaza and plaque have to be moved. And I was like, here's this reliefing thing again. What are you talking about? Well, there was a plaza and a plaque in Centennial Park commemorating the efforts from the '98 tornado, and it was in way of construction and renovations at Centennial Park that it had to be moved. And Randall had the foresight to move it here to East Park, where much of the work was done following that tornado. And it's right outside the door here, closer to the school. But on February 25th, I came over here to look at the new plaza and the plaque because it was finished, and that was on a Tuesday. I took pictures, and I still have them today. That was on a Tuesday. 1 week following that was when the tornado of 2020 came through. So I'd spent 6 months kind of rolling my eyes about this tornado from '98 and reliefing day that I didn't know much about to getting to experience it for myself. And most of you here lived through that. And what I just want to mention about that is that, all the destruction and everything that happened, I was most impressed by NES. Your crews were out there through the night, countless hours just to restore power under the most dangerous conditions. And I walked around at times and saw there were live power lines, and it was very unsafe conditions, but they and other outside contractors did a great job, and not to mention that there was a new pandemic that was settling in. And so great job, guys. You guys are incredible, and thanks to your leadership, DJ, for making sure that you put power back to people and lights on cold nights and heat for us to keep warm. So we got through the tornado, and then we eventually arrived at another reliefing day in November 2020. And once again, here came DJ with that same smile. And I was like, all right, this guy's pretty incredible. Because most CEOs, I don't think, would take the time to come to just a tree planting event. And he certainly doesn't have to, but he was always there. And I'm sure like he was the 17 years prior to me being with the Tree Foundation. So when I heard that you were stepping down and retiring, it instantly came to my mind that we must do something to honor DJ for his commitment to not just the trees and the company's commitment to trees, but just all the service and commitment you've service to the city. And so with that, there is a bench in Centennial Park that's along a path down near Musician's Corner that needs a lot of shade. And there we will plant a small grove of sugar maples in honor of DJ DeCosta Jenkins for his service of 30 years to Nashville Electric. I think it's worth mentioning that I had learned that DJ was an avid golfer, and I thought, well, we should plant trees near a golf course so he can enjoy them and watch them grow. Well, I should have known that he's a tree guy, and he said, can we plant them in Centennial Park so my granddaughter can enjoy them? And he knows, like we know, you plant trees for the next generation of tree stewards. And so I didn't have that foresight, but thank you for being so thoughtful and suggesting that. So we will plant those trees, not today, some other day, but this November we will have the 20th anniversary of Reliefing Day, and while you may not be the CEO of NES, we hope that you will come out and join us. And so to try to entice you to, we're going to make you an honorary lifetime green shirt volunteer that you can come out and help us plant. So thank you, DJ, and thank you, NES, for all that you do. Great.
I just have to say, DeCosta, really sad to see you go. DeCosta Jenkins was also a member of the Green Ribbon Committee back in the day. We would have all of our energy and waste meetings over at the NES building with these delicious cookies. That probably explains everything about my weight, but. In his earliest times as mayor, Mayor Cooper had placed an emphasis on sustainability and environmental protection. Now, as we're here at Arbor Day and thinking about the initiatives that the mayor has put in place, one of the major ones being expanding Nashville's tree canopy, we want to thank Mayor Cooper for all of his efforts, for setting goals, for helping to fund. I mean, sometimes we have a goal, but we don't have money, but the Mayor Cooper has helped to fund those goals and moved us towards greater trees and greenery in Nashville and Davidson County. We're very fortunate to have a mayor that not only believes in Nashville's tree canopy, but is not afraid to act and to help. So on this day, it is my privilege to introduce the mayor and our friend, Mayor John Cooper.
Well, thank you, Sharon and Jennifer and Jacob. What a voice. Several of us are saying maybe the radio also with trees. Patricia, thank you. T-Line, it's a great honor to get the Cate Award. I mean, George Cate was really one of the creators of modern Metro. And Andrew, thank you for everything. I don't know, you're getting DaCosta and me to think back on 2020, which is maybe not the happiest thing, but we got through it. And Councilman Withers and Councilman Benedict, it's always great to see you, our partner in creating a great city going forward. And DaCosta, how do I say this? How does the city get on without you? DaCosta is one of these people like Taylor and Garth and Dolly. He does not need a second name. He's been so important to Nashville. And leadership in NES, there are big shoes to fill in. We're going to have to do it without you, but thank you for creating such big shoes. And then today, I just want to notice Kendra Abkowitz, who's our sustainability officer, I believe, being sustainable, she's maybe at the hospital having a baby right now. So I hope so. Hope our thoughts with her, everything going well. But I'm here really to extend gratitude to all of you. All of you are so important in making this work happen. It's the members of the Metro Tree Advisory Committee, the Metro Beautification and Environment Commission, all the Metro departments, and the state of Tennessee, the Division of Forestry, Nashville Electric Service, our invaluable partner, community partners like the Nashville Tree Foundation, the Nashville Tree Conservation Corps, the Cumberland River Compact, the Tennessee Environmental Council, and all the volunteers for their support of trees. It takes more than a village, it takes a city. It takes a city of people working together. Now that's purchasing, planting, watering, pruning, and restoring thousands of trees across the city, at parks, at schools, at businesses, at homes, that is everywhere. Now, we each have an important role to play in ensuring that we make this asset available to everyone in our community to have a better quality of life for us all. That's going to require trees. And trees are a vital part of Nashville's infrastructure, of the infrastructure itself. Now, they also provide millions of dollars worth of environmental, ecological, and social services, helping our city be sustainable and resilient. And there's no better system to slow and store stormwater. And yes, we do have a big stormwater concern in Nashville, to sequester carbon, to clean the air, to reduce the heat island effect, to save on energy, to regenerate our soil, and to support biodiversity. All that happens with trees. So the health and well-being of our city and citizens depend on our urban forest. And I'm proud of our efforts to make a tree canopy a priority here in Nashville, and to make sure that trees are here today for each one of you and in the future. I mean, all of us are here really to make a city that our children and grandchildren are going to thank us for. And that starts with planting a tree. Now, we've earned Tree City USA recognition, and we've increased protections for trees on public properties by establishing a Metro Tree review panel and standards for managing trees as an asset, because they are an asset. And we've created a dedicated revenue stream to support the Root Nashville campaign, and Root Nashville supports tree canopy restoration and maintenance on private properties, which was discussed earlier. But with a goal of planting 500,000 trees in Davidson County by 2050, we are going to have to include private land as well as public land, of course. Now, to date, Root Nashville has planted over 21,000 trees since its inception, with a collective monetary benefit exceeding 470,000 trees. Yes. And meeting our 500,000 tree goal will result, when that's accomplished, in tens of millions of dollars of actual monetary benefits and so much more of intangible benefits for our community. So I'm here to thank each one of you for being here today and making trees a priority for Nashville. And I'd like to, all of us assembled, present a proclamation commemorating Arbor Day in Nashville, Tennessee. I'm grateful to the council, and I want to point out just a paragraph here. This year, Nashville will receive its 27th Tree City USA designation. You know, that's due to so many of you here in this room, 27th year designation. Having tree ordinance and expenditures. To be a Tree City USA designation, you need $2 per capita on trees. And so that's a commitment we've been making for a long time. We need to increase that commitment over time as trees and climate change and our sustainable future become central to our mission as a city and as a society. So it's with my honor to recognize everyone here and the trees that are being planted in memory, not only just in celebration of the sugar maples of DaCosta, but in memory of Winona Lurie and Carolyn Oler and the great Kay Simmons. And the Fisk Jubilee Singers, who've done more to establish Nashville and its brand around the world than anybody ever. And Patricia Miller, and all special thanks, because we've not had the opportunity to gather as much in these last 2 years, all the efforts behind the tornado recovery. You know, March 3rd, 2020 was a moment that kind of triggered a difficult year for Nashville, but it's a moment to use the resolve that it inspired to say, yes, we will be, despite what happens, we will be a great city and a great community. And again, my personal thanks to each one of you that helped us respond in that moment, and to our bright future ahead. Thank you all very much.
Hello, I'm Randall Lentz with Metro Parks. And so, well, this has been kind of fun, hasn't it? And I'm old, maybe not as old as you are, but I know every one of these people that have been honored today, and that's sort of amazing. Winona Lurie was a great person who had me come over and gave me seedlings of trees back in the early days. Greenways, and she's now, her house, unfortunately gone. That's a great neighborhood. We call it Browns Creek Greenway. It was one of those flood bout areas from water that turned into a great park, a great neighborhood park, and will eventually connect with the rest of the greenways. Kay Simmons apparently was working with the greenways. All of these things kind of all hook together. So it's really nice to see how all of this fits together. My job is to thank you for coming today. My job is to tell you that outside there are pecan, persimmon, and white oak seedlings for you to take home with you. May be a while before the little pecan does much, but it's there. It's been nice to have the mayor and everybody here to talk about the tornadoes. We've been through many of those, twice I've done that. Unfortunately, it's really fun it's really interesting to watch how people come together when that happens. And I'm talking metro-wide, how that we all start working together. We should do that more often, but we as a team, I think we work very well together. If you're a representative of the tornado group that you're all here, please come forward when we finish up today. We'll have all your photos made at one time, so that would be great. Remind you that 2023 will be here before we know it. We'll be right back here, same place, same time. So thank you all for coming today. It's been a great day, and see you next year.
This has been a service of the Metro Nashville Network. If you would like to see this presentation again, or for more information on this and other programs, visit nashville.gov.